What's going on, YouTube? Your boy here, Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up, and it is time to talk about NXT TakeOver 30. A show that had potential for being an NXT TakeOver. What more can you say? But then you get into it and, woo! It blew me away. It blew me away. More so than I would have thought. Without further ado, it's time to discuss the in-depth details of, in my opinion, the takeover that includes the greatest ladder match of 2020. You can comment below, let me know what you think, give me any criticism you feel need to, but that is my opinion. That ladder match had the greatest false finishes after another. It was incredible. It was incredible. I could not get enough of what was going on. It was amazing. I give those guys credit too, once again, for pulling something like that off without any real fans in the arena. Just amazing. Just tremendous. Well done, everyone who participated in that. I guess a quick few tidbits. First off, if you haven't seen my Dragonborn video, click the link in the description. You will go on a wild, magical ride, a glorious 9 minutes of your life that you will not regret wasting. I can guarantee. But we had some big announcements during the middle of the show regarding NXT UK. They are coming back. I believe the date was September 17th. I believe that was the date. NXT UK is about to restart, everyone. Some really good news. So much talent that they have kept under there right now that I'm looking forward to seeing back in action. Walter, obviously, the NXT UK champion. Kaylee Ray, NXT UK Women's Champion. Gallus, although I don't know how long Joe Coffey's suspension is supposed to last. For anyone who didn't know, I believe Joe Coffey was suspended. Good Lord, Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster. Oh my gosh, they're one of the best tag teams that the division has right now. Same can be said for, well, I guess Gibson and, well, no, I guess we haven't seen Gibson and Drake for a while now, so I'm looking forward to seeing them too, and of course, Pete Dunne. The names can go on, but NXT UK is about to get back in business, but another announcement, Tommaso Ciampa is coming back this Wednesday on NXT, and I'm very curious to see what his next game plan is going to be. We haven't seen him since Karrion Kross took him out at TakeOver in your house. What is Ciampa's next goal? Because I honestly thought he was going to be the mastermind behind Retribution, but not the case. Now we know he's coming back in NXT. What are his plans? Especially now that we have a new NXT champion. Let's dive into the show. First off, on the kickoff, the pre-show match, we have the triple threat match to determine the next #1 contenders for Imperium's Tag Team Championships. It was Breezango, Tyler Breeze and Fandango taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and Escobar's boys, Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. It was a good match, and there were a good set of false finishes that didn't look legit. Then the match suddenly just ended, though. Breeze gets a random super kick, I guess his supermodel kick on Oney Lorcan. 1, 2, 3, it was it. Breezango ended up winning and getting another title shot. I have no complaints. I thought Burch and Lorcan might be taking it. Thankfully, it's a good time to be wrong. Breezango are the team that I believe I just love most in NXT for their comedy, their humor, and straight up good wrestling when they can, because they're both talented as heck, and I really hope they get a better match with Imperium than they got before a bit ago because of some nonsense distractions. I believe from Indusion Share, I can't really remember the name of that team because they disappeared again. So I really think we should just forget about them and let's focus more on Breezango and the guys who we're using just about every week. And who knows, maybe Breezango can win the tag team titles because Imperium still really haven't been doing much with them. Although now the NXT UK is getting back in traction, them with Walter, all the gold, what's there to complain about? Moving on from the kickoff match, we started the show proper with Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher. A grudge match after Thatcher screwed Balor out of his chance to get into the ladder match for the North American Championship. Balor and Thatcher's match was good. It was more of a ground game match. It was about the the submissions, and Thatcher really putting the work on Balor's leg. There was a really funny spot where Finn went for the coup de grace. Thatcher moved out of the way, and Finn landed on his leg, winced. Thatcher saw that he was in pain and just gave him the look, just like, oh, I am going to come after you. I'm going to break your leg. And then you see Finn's reaction. That was hilarious. But ultimately, it went down to the Prince coup de grace, Bloody Sunday, a.k.a. 1916. I'm calling it Bloody Sunday because it sounds way cooler. 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor picks up the win. Still looking good. Hopefully heading to his championship match with Walter sooner than later at this point. Moving on to match 2. It was the ladder match for the North American Championship. I was thinking it was either going to kick off or it would be 3rd or 4th in the card. No, it was 2nd. And like I said, it was amazing. I cannot give enough credit to those guys for pulling off what they did. If you haven't seen the match, go watch the match. It's amazing what they do to each other, their bodies. And at one point, I think the craziest spot of the whole night would either have to be these... I believe it was a sunset flip powerbomb that Gargano gave someone off of a ladder, and it looked like they were going to go through another ladder setup, but they went like on the side of it and just fell to the ground. It was, oh man, it was cringe all over for me. And then at one point, Dream looks like he's going to get the title, but then someone pulls the ladder up on the other side, and he falls over the barricade through a table. My God, how much did they have to do to each other to drill home the point? And this is what made it great. Every single person who was in that match was a believable winner. They had their reasons for winning. So every time someone was close enough to grabbing that belt, it was believable. They were going to win. This is it. But it just kept going until finally, after some nonsense with Candice LeRae coming out to help Johnny Gargano, it backfired. If you haven't seen Bronson Reed splash from the top of the ladder, go watch it now. I'll wait. Did you see it? Woo! Dang, and I don't know how Gargano got up from that. Looked like he was bleeding from the mouth. Bleeding from the inside, maybe. But in the end, it was Gargano who had the top all to himself, gonna take his sweet time to pull it down and make my day. But Damian Priest got up. They unhooked the belt, and they were fighting over it, but it was Priest who got the better of Gargano. Damian Priest is the new NXT North American Champion. A prediction I am very happy to get right. Out of all the men who were in that match, it was Priest who was the most mid-established over Grimes and Bronson Reed, whereas Dream and Gargano have already held the championship. This was Priest's time. It made sense. He had a little hot pool party with the babes later after. I believe even Triple H got in for a photo bomb that wasn't shown in the show. Oh, man, I feel good for him. I feel really good that Damian Priest is now NXT superstar, full-on, and champion. Great job, Priest, and great match. Moving on to the next, it was the match that had some people worried. But in my opinion, it kind of blew me away more than I expected. It was Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole, and despite some nonsense interference at the beginning of the match, Pat McAfee can wrestle. He can do stuff. He did a freaking dive on all of the people on Undisputed Era and his boys that were out there to interfere from the top rope. Pat McAfee just jumped it, and then there was another point where he did a backflip from the top rope that looked cool as hell. He's doing drop kicks. He's locking up well. Pat McAfee can actually do this. And if he's going to wrestle on NXT, at least part-time, I don't really think I'm going to complain. Because the only thing I didn't like about him was his mouth. But now he's got something to back up the mouth. But as far as the match went, thankfully realistic realization set in. Pat McAfee did get a cheap shot at one point, low blow. He got his punt. Adam Cole kicked out, which kind of really baffled me because Randy Orton's punt kick is supposed to be more devastating than a former NFL football player's punt. I don't like that. I think Pat's should be the one that pins people. But Adam Cole kicked out. He got his majority of his moveset in, but he did not beat him with the last shot. No. He beat him with that beautiful destroyer he does off the second rope. And Cole won. Pat looked good. Cole looked good. This was fun. I thought this was going to diminish everything the ladder match just set for the show. It didn't. It was good. I enjoyed it. Lovely stuff. Let's move on. 2 matches to go. NXT Women's Championship match. So Io Shirai defending against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez out at ringside. And for the most part, she didn't really interfere much until the referee got kicked in the head for getting in the freaking way by Dakota Kai. Io Shirai got the moonsault, no referee. Raquel comes in, takes her out with a spine buster, throws Dakota on her for the pin, gets the referee in position. 1, 2, no, not quite. Io Shirai kicked out, able to overcome the interference. Another moonsault, 1, 2, 3. Io Shirai still the women's champion. Although, funny enough, after the match, we got a little bit of a taste of things to come. Because Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai decided to assault the NXT Women's Champion after the match. And who should come to her save than Rhea Ripley? Stared down Raquel Gonzalez and then afterwards stared down Io Shirai without Shirai knowing. So is Rhea Ripley ready to get back in the title scene? Are we ready for Shirai versus Rhea for the championship? That's what it looks like. But now it's time to talk about the main event, a main event that I believe had a split decision among the fans. But, pardon me. Ooh, I need water. Dehydrated. Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, NXT Championship match. The match itself was okay. It was more about Kross working on Keith Lee's arm, and then Keith getting the comeback. Kross gets on his cross jacket, that sleeper submission, but Keith Lee actually made it to the ropes. He didn't tap, he didn't pass out. Goes to the top rope for something, but Kross, he just did basically a belly-to-back suplex from the top rope and beat him. Karrion Kross won the NXT Championship from Keith Lee. His character did not just get thrown in the toilet. I firmly believe that this was a statement to AEW to, if you're going to bring in a monster, the monster is going to crush and win, not lose the big one. Because Karrion Kross won, he's the new NXT champion. But now we get into the unfortunate news. Apparently Karrion Kross has a separated shoulder. He suffered the injury during the match. And I have not heard any new information on how long he will be injured for. So, essentially, does this mean WWE made the wrong decision? I should say NXT, I should say Triple H, I should say whatever. But I feel bad for Kross. It's a shame. The summer curse of injuries returns back after winning a championship. Hopefully, this won't mean he'll have to vacate the title if he doesn't have to be out forever, but I'm pretty sure this is going to mean he'll be out for a few months. What a heartbreaking moment for him. But now it's time to talk about the possibilities. We have to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. We did it brilliantly with Ciampa getting injured and forced to vacate it last year. Now it looks like we're set up in the same position, not even 2 years after Ciampa. What should we do? You know what I think we should do? Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae win their championships respectively. Somehow Gargano needs to get that championship if it is vacant, just like he did before when it was vacant from Ciampa. This would be brilliant. This is the time to have the power couple of Garganos hold the gold in NXT. I can't think of a better time to present itself than this. I was really hoping that they'd get their chance to do it before the end of the year, but then Kross won, and I put it on the back burner, but now he's hurt. If he can't compete, if he has to vacate it, Johnny Gargano's in it to win. This would be huge. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm throwing my prediction out now. Gargano to win the championship if it needs a new holder. Ooh, excitement. Excitement for the future. But that's it. That is my review of NXT TakeOver 30. and we'll see what we get in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below what was your favorite match and what you hope to see in the future coming out of NXT TakeOver 30. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully, for my SummerSlam results and review video. Enjoy SummerSlam tonight. I can almost guarantee it will not be as good as NXT TakeOver 30, but that's the expectation at this point. TakeOver, in my opinion, should be closing the weekends, not opening them. Just the opinion. Let's move on with our lovely lives. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow. Keep it real.